Good morning, everyone. Let me just double check to make sure I have everything logged up, ready to rock and roll here. All right. Cool beans. Let's do a screen. I'll screen share here in a second. Does anybody else need their screen shared? Sweet. Alrighty, let's get rocking then. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Carrie. I'm the Fairfield County's recycling educator, and today we're going to be talking about recycling right, and that's a huge deal for a lot of recycling programs because contamination is probably one of our number one threats to the success of the program. It costs thousands of dollars every year for us to hand sort this material that people either wish cycled, so they thought they could recycle it and it can no longer, it actually couldn't be recycled, or they deliberately dumped materials into the bin, or they had no idea that a lot of these items that you think can be recycled because you see that recycling symbol, that triangle on it, cannot be recycled. So today we're going to start off. We're going to do county updates first. Then we're going to show a little video about recycling right, and then we'll discuss for each of the four counties. We'll open it up for discussion for what we see in our bins a lot of times that cannot be recycled. And you'll learn from the four counties that what you can recycle in Fairfield County, you may not be able to recycle it in Licking, or you can recycle in Perry, you might not be able to recycle it in Coshocton, XYZ. So first, we'll go ahead and we'll just do county updates. Please introduce yourself when you update your county, and we'll kick it off with Katrina.
Well, thank you, Carrie. It is so wonderful to see you guys' faces again. It's been a while. I'm always delighted to be here and share whatever good info we can share from our Perry County area. I'm Katrina Carpenter. I'm the education specialist for Perry County Waste Reduction and Recycling. And we have been doing these virtual meetings, trying to do them monthly here with our partnering neighbors, educators here for several months now since the COVID pandemic started halfway through last year. It's one more effort that we're continuing now, just in an effort to do a virtual thing where some people can't join us maybe or talk to us in other ways. So we're happy that some of you guys are here today to join us, and hopefully we can answer your questions and share some good info. So the recycling center is up and running. As of yesterday, we have all 23 plus sites back on location for all our residents to use. And like Carrie said, the message today is about recycling right and not contaminating those bins. So with that, I'll move on to, let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. How about Coshocton County? Tammy, you ready?
I'm ready. Tammy Rogers, Coshocton County Recycling and Litter Prevention. And we are going, of course, great guns into summer, wrapped up a lot of school programs at the end of the year. And now we're going to get into what I call the festival season. So we've got First Farm Friday coming up in August, and we've got some other things here and there. We had our Balloon Fest at the beginning of the month. Just all great opportunities to showcase recycling, provide recycling containers and so forth at those events, and just keep being a presence, I guess, in Coshocton County. Also on our local radio station every other month, that's WTNS 99.3 FM. So several people, I know Licking County, you can get it in there. I'm not sure about the more southern counties, whether it reaches that far, but we seem to generate a lot of interest and questions and so forth. So that's kind of where we're at countywide, I guess. We're just plugging along, and we just keep beating the drum.
Yeah.
We'll throw it over to Andrea.
All right, thanks, Tammy. Hi, everybody. My name is Andrea, and I am the director of Licking County Recycling. And I guess you can add educator now to my job duties as well. Our education coordinator retired last month. And we are officially not filling that position right now. So as the director, I get to do all that stuff, but I do have a background in environmental education and interpretation. And I spent the last 20 plus years as a park naturalist before coming to Licking County a few years ago. So I'm glad to have education back into my job duties, and it's made things kind of fun here the last couple of weeks, getting some school programs wrapped up for the year and some daycare programs. So really that's like our big update for Licking County, is just that we've had a staffing change. And if you want an education program, you're going to contact me now instead of our previous employee. So I'm happy to be here. And yeah, I don't think I don't think we have anything else really going on yet. I mean, just like Tammy and everybody else, lots of programs going on and just trying to get the word out that we need to recycle right. Oh, we did just put, we bought some banners that we're going to be putting up at some of our recycling sites. And we're just right now trying to figure out how to get those out there without them being ripped off of wherever we put them by the wind. So if we have any Licking County folks here, stay tuned, and you might see some cool banners about recycling right, and flattening cardboard is a big one too. So we're hopefully going to get those out pretty soon. So thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
We're happy to have you, Andrea.
Thanks, Carrie.
So in Fairfield County, we have some exciting things coming along. Like everybody says, festival season right now. We've got invited for a couple of presentations out at Alley Park. We've been doing with a lot of our youth in Fairfield County. We have Lancaster Festival. That's a huge festival. We'll be at the event on the 24th, swing by the recycling display. We'll also be at Buck Ion. That'll be on August 7th as well. So we'll have recycling goodies, information. Come see us, come get to know our programs. I think for all of us, if you know of a festival and you would like to see us, or you know somebody that's in charge of the festival, give us a call. We're happy to pop up and get to talk to people and teach them that, hey, this is how you recycle. It's confusing, but we're a resource and we're here. And that's kind of what the whole mission and purpose of today's meeting is. Before we get started, for Fairfield County, we actually have some exciting news. Construction has officially broke ground at the facility. We have a brand new baler in place. It's very exciting. So that's been fun to watch. That got installed this past weekend. So we're kind of in the transitioning of our staff's learning how to use the new baler. It's a little bit bigger than what we're used to, but it'll be beautiful once everything is tied together, and we'll be able to recycle more efficiently. Before I forget, Plastic Free July is coming up. So we're inviting everybody to join the challenge and give up one plastic single-use item. So it could be anywhere from plastic culinary, plastic bags, bringing your own water bottle, XYZ. I know for me with the pandemic, and I think this goes for a lot of folks too, is I became quite lazy about bringing my reusable bags to the grocery store. They just weren't taking them. I felt awkward carrying my groceries out without a plastic bag. I mean, it's an excuse per se, but it's also a real problem I have. And I have not made my transition back to bringing my own plastic reusable bags. I know, but transparency is key. And that's what I'm saying, folks. So this Plastic Free July, I am challenging myself to bring my plastic bags, not plastic bags, reusable bags to the grocery store, and trying to refuse that plastic bag. That's, I think, is going to be kind of a hard challenge, as I am pretty forgetful, and we'll have to probably make frequent trips to the parking lot to get those bags, but it's worth it in the end, because those suckers, they stay on the planet for hundreds of years.
Hey, Carrie, can I add something about Plastic Free July?
Yeah, jump on.
So every single afternoon on the Licking County Recycling Facebook page, starting July 1st through the 31st, we will have a fun fact about plastic, or ideas on how to reuse plastic or reduce your use of plastic or whatnot. We have gone all out for plastic information. So starting July 1st, it's in the afternoons, usually between 1, 2, 3 o'clock or so, we'll be posting something about Plastic Free July. So if the 4 or 5 of you that are here online with us today have not started following Licking County Recycling and you want to learn more about plastic, please do. Because we've got some really, really good stuff out there.
It's crazy, the plastic. I mean, in a plastic pollution crisis, plastic pollution crisis. Man, I can't talk today. And it's huge. By 2050, there's estimating to be more plastic in the sea than fish by weight. So there's going to be.
So you just gave away one of our daily.
Oh no! Well, fun fact, I spoiled it. Maybe you'll forget it.
That's okay. I think that one's later in the month, so people won't remember it by then.
Cool. So
I don't think anything can be said enough.
That's right.
I agree.
We're all really good about drilling these facts into folks' heads, and we can pull off tons of facts for you. Real fast though, last Fairfield County update, we were actually awarded an EPA grant for a tire collection event. So what this will be is folks will probably have to pay a small fee to recycle their tires. More information on this is coming soon. It'll be for Fairfield County residents. So stay tuned to our Facebook page. I think that's the best for all 4 counties. Just follow our Facebook page. We update them constantly. We're always putting facts, events, XYZ, where you can see us, things of that nature. So let's go ahead and get into recycling right. I'm going to first start off with a video. And just remember, when you're watching anything or you see any media in the forms of recycling, remember recycling is not, it's specific, it's not generalized. You can generalize it as much as saying, oh, you can recycle things. But when it comes to your individual counties or individual companies, they can take different things than what others cannot. So this video is a really cool educational information tidbit to kind of like nurse you into this topic. So let me get my screen sharing here. Let me know, can everybody see the video screen? Yes,
Yep.
Perfect. Let's see, the next question is, can everybody hear that?
There is nothing like a hot cup of tea in the morning.
Good, cool.
That is until I'm done and I have to decide what to do with my cup. Can I recycle it?
That's your question.
Yeah, this is a great question.
I just figure you can recycle anything that's cardboard-esque.
That's not right. I can't recycle this? Knowing what you can and can't recycle isn't easy. The rules depend on where you live, and there are hundreds of products and materials where the rules aren't always clear. I hear that that's not recyclable. I don't know if that's like a legend, an urban legend or something. Paper towels. My roommate and I actually had this discussion where I'm like, I'll throw paper towels in there. And she's like, I don't think you can recycle them. She'll pick them out. I'm like, I don't know, it's paper. That's a whole wrap.
It's so hard.
The confusion means that things that are actually garbage still end up in the recycling stream. About 25% of what Americans try to recycle can't actually be recycled. Waste management experts say what's going on here is something called aspirational recycling. When people are unsure if an item can be recycled, they recycle it because it feels like the right thing to do. And while our intentions are good, this behavior isn't harmless. Even small amounts of contamination can turn entire hauls of otherwise recyclable materials into trash. And the problem has been growing. The rate of recycling contamination more than doubled in the last decade. So why is this happening? Well, it's at least in part due to a major shift in how Americans recycle. Beginning in the 1990s and 2000s, municipalities implemented single-stream recycling programs. Paper, metal, plastic, and glass no longer needed to be sorted. They could all live in one bin. Communities quickly adopted the practice, and by 2014, 80% of all curbside recycling programs in the US were single stream. The problem is there's evidence that when we put all our recycling into one bin, we're more likely to throw trash in there along with it. Take 2 neighboring counties in Florida, for example. Palm Beach County, where residents must pre-sort their recyclables, had a contamination rate of only 9%, while Broward County's single stream program had a contamination rate of 30%. Single stream recycling takes the responsibility to sort off of the individual and shifts it to materials recovery facilities, or MRFs, where trash gets sorted from recycling by machines, but also by workers who often have to remove waste by hand. Pizza boxes contaminated with grease, electronics that aren't processed at standard recycling facilities, even the likes of Christmas lights, animal carcasses, and bowling balls. In Portland, workers remove thousands of dirty diapers every month. In a perfect world, everyone would just know how to recycle correctly. But short of that, there's something we can all start doing differently right now. Unless you are absolutely sure, don't recycle it. In fact, recycling education campaigns encourage the opposite. When in doubt, the best option may be to throw it out. Most people want to do the right thing, and sometimes the way to be a good recycler is to throw stuff in the trash. If you like this video,
Alrighty, let me stop screen sharing here. Hang on. Get it pulled up. Maybe. We're having technical difficulties here. Oh, let's see. Does anyone have an idea how to just pull it off of screen share? Usually it just pops
I
up
want more
saying
like it. We've launched a
screen share is done, XYZ. Anybody have a guess? If not, you're gonna see my lovely YouTube popped up. Where am I? Hang on here. I don't want to like try anything and then kick us off.
I think it's down, is it in the bottom right-hand corner where it says end share or end
The
screen
only thing I
share?
can see is us. That's it. I have no other option for on Zoom of
Huh.
You might have to like minimize the Zoom screen where it shows us. So it will show that bottom ribbon that has the participants and the share and the record and all that.
Up in the top in the view options, is there anything where you can exit? I see exit full screen, hide video panel.
you see it on yours?
Yeah,
Well,
which
there's
I
some of
would.
your emails, so you might not want that on there.
I was gonna say. What?
Here you go. There's a kitty.
The kitty's good.
Oh, that's Jelly Bean. All right, we're gonna do the kitty, and sorry, folks, that you won't get to see my face unless I figure this out as we
I
talk.
could still see your face though,
Yeah,
too.
we can see you.
Well, just enjoy Jelly Bean's photo for me.
That's fine.
I see the four of us and Tracy. Thanks for sticking with us, Tracy.
Yeah, and thank you all for coming today. We really appreciate it. Feel free to jump on in the conversation if you have questions, answers, anything of that nature, holler on in. So that video was really good. What they pretty much said was, when in doubt, throw it out. And as scientists, conservationists, we just want to do a good part and do our part. And it's really hard for a lot of folks to throw things away. So then they do what we call a term called wish cycling. They throw it into the bin, they recycle it, hoping that it can be recycled, but actually what they're doing, they're hurting programs because it's costly. So some of the things that we see a lot in Fairfield County, and we'll go through all the counties of who sees what, XYZ. I figured it out, guys. There we go.
Yay.
I saw it, it popped up. Sorry. Anyway, though, we'll go through the counties of seeing like what we see a lot. We see a lot of plastic bags. And we actually have a MRF, so what you saw in the video, a material recovery facility. And although we're not single stream, so folks can't pour in all their recycling, we're still kind of pre-sort. Some of our sites, folks will be able to put in all their materials in. We have workers, it's not machines. We have workers that are up on lines sorting out all this trash by hand. Last year, we recycled over 8 million pounds of material. So that's a lot of trash we're sorting out with 3 to 5 workers. To make everybody's lives a little easier, to help recycling programs, we can only recycle in Fairfield County plastics 1 and 2, paper, cardboard. Flatten your cardboard, that's a huge issue alone, because if you do not flatten your cardboard, you're taking up a lot of rooms in our bins that your neighbors cannot now recycle, or folks a lot of times will see, they'll just set their recycling along the side of the bins. And what happens is that blows away. It can get ruined if it gets rained on, XYZ. So please flatten your cardboard. Paperboard. So paperboard would be like cereal boxes, granola bar boxes, and we can take glass. So some of the things we use, plastic bags. I think I can speak for all of us. Don't put recycling in plastic bags. Plastic bags cannot be recycled at most recycling facilities. And the reason why is because it's a plastic film. And that film, when it goes up our lines, it often gets stuck either in the conveyor belt or any other part of the machine. and then it can literally break the machine. It'll slow the machine down. So our workers, we have to open up all of our bags and dump all that material in and then throw that plastic bag away. So it's a waste of a plastic bag. It's a waste of resources. Plastics made from oil products, waste of our natural resources. So let's just skip the bag. Know before you throw is pretty much what the theme today is. So ask. But glass is something we can recycle. And this is a good example of, I think, what some folks get confused of. So this is just a glass mason jar. This is not a ceramic piece. So it wouldn't be like a coffee mug or a teapot. It's a glass jar like what you would can with. It's only painted. We can recycle this glass jar. The paint doesn't matter per se because that can be washed off in the processing. However, a lot of times with glass, we like to do crafts with it, or we have our lids. The more you can make a product the original source. So I can make this more glass. I can take off this twine, throw that twine away, then I could recycle it. The more likely the chance of that product is actually to be able to be recycled. If it had a tin lid on it, you could recycle it with that tin lid, but go ahead and remove it. That helps with programs in the glass. Plastic planters, this has been seen a lot right now in the recycling bin. Do not recycle these. See if a greenhouse can have them. A lot of people are actually trying to do smaller nurseries at their homes. Ask your neighbors, put it on Marketplace. Hey, I have plastic planters. Does anybody want them? They will be reused and they will last a very, very long time. One thing we see, and again, just because it has that triangle in it does not mean it can be recycled. You want to look for that triangle, and for plastics, you want to look for the numbers 1 through 7. Know your numbers. For Fairfield County, in most places, it's 1s and 2s, but again, you need to know. We see these little boogers, it has a plant in it. We see these guys all the time. Solo cups are always ending up in the bin. These cannot be recycled. So next time if you're out having a family event, having a party, XYZ, go for the more sustainable option. Just bring your own cup. BYOC, I guess, bring your own cup, or just go ahead and find, if you do want a disposable option, find more of a paper source, or look for ones that are actually plastics #1. I would try to stay away from the paper cups because a lot of paper cups cannot be recycled because it has a plastic lining. So look for items made out of #1 and #2 plastics, so that way it can be recycled. What else are some of the things that you guys see? You guys can shout it out. Whatever county wants to talk first, doesn't matter. That is a huge problem for their district that they see often in the bin.
Tide bags is huge. We have people just chucking. We understand, people are holding their recyclables, especially in Perry County in the last 4 or 5 weeks. We've asked people to stockpile because we've been upgrading our whole facility, which is really huge for us. We're going from a very old sorting system by hand to something that's much more modern, sensors, magnets, blowers. Like Carrie said, bags in general just cause a problem and slow us down, stop the line. We get behind, we get buried. But the Tide bags are, can't say it enough. No Tide bags. If you must use a bag, dump it in and reuse the bag if you can. You don't have to stuff that bag in there. We don't want them. We just have to throw them away. And if we have to open them or tear them open, we can't unknot them. If we can tear them, but I've been in there. It's just, it's such a pain.
And it probably takes 3 hours, 5 hours just to tear open those bags within a week's time. I mean, it's taking a lot of time that we could process and better serve the county if folks just stop taking plastic bags. And just as a side note, Perry County also has a MRF, so they have a materials recovery facility too. Shocked and looking, they do not, and they'll explain their system in a bit too. Sorry, Katrina, that I interrupted.
No, thank you. The only other thing that we are different from the other 3 counties, Coshocton, Fairfield, and Licking, I think all 3 of you guys take all colors of glass. Is that correct? Because of who you're dealing with? No, Coshocton's in the same boat we are. You can say later. Because I don't want to stop what you want to say. We can only do clear and brown. This recycling guide, can you see that? That exemplifies the examples of what we can take. Clear and brown glass is all we can do. And everything else Carrie said is the same for us. The big thing is get it in the bin, dump it in loose. It gets dumped on the floor and gets loaded into the vat and then runs through the sort line. So the less holdups, the better. But clear and brown glass is all we can take as far as glass, no other colors. And I'll stop there.
I'll go next because I happened to notice the conversation in the chat about bottle caps, and Tammy just responded to, and I just noticed it on your paper, Katrina. Was it Tracy asked about bottle caps and whether those are accepted or not. And it looks as if, at least in Licking, Fairfield, and Coshocton counties, bottle caps are okay. They do need to be put back on the container though. I will say in Licking County, one of the things that I clean up the most off of the ground when I'm at our public recycling sites are bottle caps. They drive me crazy. I cannot say that enough. To me, bottle caps are just as bad as the plastic bags, frankly. Now, the thing is though, we accept the plastic bottle caps, but they do need to be on the container. If they're loose, they actually get stuck in machinery that's rotating or is like this, and it can actually stop the machinery from separating all of the other materials. Or because they're so small, they just fall right through the cracks. And again, the machinery that's doing this, and they don't get what's called recovered anyway, meaning it won't get put into the right like bin or conveyor belt or whatnot to actually be recycled. So at least here in at least our 3 counties, and Katrina, I'll get back to you in a sec too. But in our 3 counties that accept bottle caps, they need to be put back on the container. If for whatever reason you've got a bunch of loose bottle caps, either send them to Fairfield County, because I know Carrie is accepting them for a special program where they get turned into benches, or just please throw them in the trash. Do not put them loose in your recycling. Now, Katrina, I think I noticed on your flyer that you just held up, though, it said no caps. What's the scoop on that?
Well, we are kind of in transition, as you know, with the new system. A few weeks later, we aren't making it like a public notice at this point, but we have been experimenting with the caps on when they are on. Those caps are different than the container in most regards. And they were a hazard issue with our clients that work in the recycling center. When they drive over those with the tow motors or the skid steers, they blow, they shoot like projectiles. So that was the reason for so many years that we did not take them, because we have special needs adults working in the recycling center and they need to be protected as well as everyone else, regardless of who you are. But Matt, my director, and the staff on the floor have been trying to see how it works with the caps on, if we can still bale them and get a proper weight bale of number 1s and number 2s, plastic bottles and jugs. We're okay. We have enough pressure on the baler where we can still close them. We don't have perforators that poke little holes in them when they get baled. So it's been working. So chances are, once I get the green light from Matt, we're probably going to have this change where we're saying no longer that statement, no caps on anymore. But the special collection projects for youth groups like Carrie is doing, there's about 4 youth groups in our county. We have people that contact me all the time asking, is there a group? Since the pandemic, you know, they don't have drop-off locations. Maybe that's going to change. They meet their goal of 300, 400, 500 pounds or 1,000 pounds, and then that group is done. So if anyone out there is interested in saving caps, save them separate, bag them, box them, and do not put them in our drop-offs. Our recycling staff don't deal with those. Those are special youth projects that are run by 4-H clubs and other youth organizations. So if you have caps and you want to bring them to Perry County groups, contact me, bring it to our office. Don't put it in a bin. Don't give it to the recycling staff. Leave it at our office, and I will make sure it gets to the right groups that are collecting. That's what I can offer as a service in that regard. And Andrea, that's pretty much where we're at. I think we don't have to emphasize caps off anymore.
Okay.
Caps on, the technology, like everywhere else, you guys know, it's such that at the factory, they chip it into little pieces and they do a sink float kind of method where they can screen off one type of plastic and gather up the other type as well in that process. So caps off isn't as vital as it used to be. Thanks for bringing that up.
So we have about 7 minutes left. So Tammy, name some of the things that you guys see in Coshocton that's a huge issue for your bins as well.
Probably the biggest issue, and I'm sure everybody else sees it too, are styrofoam cups, styrofoam to-go containers, styrofoam egg cartons. Those styrofoam is a big fat no. No styrofoam at all. There are lots of other ways that people can get around. You do not have to buy your eggs in styrofoam. There are several places that do sell it in the paperboard, the cardboard type containers. So look for those, look for alternatives. Recently we got some vinyl siding in one of the bins.
A lot.
Pool floats. My pool floaty has a hole in it. Oh, it's made of plastic. Oh, I'll put it in the recycling. No. I tell people constantly, this is household recycling. These are things like bottles, jugs, paper boxes, cardboard boxes, tin cans. If it didn't come with a commodity, it's not really recyclable. And I think all of us are very receptive. We all have websites. We all have phone numbers. We all have Facebook pages. We all have ways of contacting us even at night or on the weekends. I get Facebook messages all the time. What do I do with? That's what we're here for. So instead of just throwing everything in the bin, that's the main thing that I try and beat home is, if you're not sure, either throw it away or give me a quick call and we can see whether it really is or not, or whether there's an avenue for it. So plastics it's a tough one, but ones and twos are most recyclable. And then we can go from there. Hopefully the market will pick up, but that's not you can wish and you can hope, but that's all we can do. So right now, yeah, bottles and jugs is probably the best route to go. And the tubs, a lot of places are starting to take tubs, like your Cool Whip tubs, butter tubs, that kind of thing. So just be very cognizant of your own county, contact your own county. If you're not sure who that even is, simply Google blank, whatever your county is, recycling. You're going to get a hit. You're going to find us. So, and we're here to help. We want you to do it right. There's no recycling police, but it makes life a lot easier for everybody involved if everybody does it right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really good, I think that's a great way to end it. Just the best thing you guys can do for the environment though is reduce your waste. Try to limit what you're making. Reuse your waste. Try to keep it out of the landfill. Then recycle XYZ. Make sure you're composting in there as well. Got to add the compost. But That's the best thing you can do. Don't throw things in the recycling bin that you're like, I really don't want this to end up in the landfill. If you really don't want it to end up in the landfill, either don't purchase that product, try to find a sustainable alternative, or really look into your resources, or even contact the company. Be like, hey, XYZ broke. How can I get rid of my pool floaty in a sustainable way? They may tell you to throw it out, and that's okay. Like, we live in a world that there's trash. There's trash everywhere you look. There's plastic, there's paper, there's cardboard, there's trash. There's gonna be waste involved, and that's okay. It's just being good humans and knowing this is how I should dispose of it properly, and it's not gonna hurt XYZ programs. So when in doubt, throw it out. Give us a call. Like Tammy said, just Google. You can Google the county, solid waste district, XYZ, and something will pop up.
Reduce and reuse.
Yep.
Always trumps recycling. Recycling's good, but if you can reduce and reuse, That's best first.
That's
Right.
number one. And then, like, I'm just saying, reading in the comments, Katrina said that there's always a youth group collecting plastic caps in Perry County. And I think that goes with all the counties. I know not only the groups that we're helping in Fairfield County out, which there's like 4 or 5 on my list as of now, there's tons more out there that I'm just discovering. Oh, we've been collecting bottle caps for a couple years now, getting benches, turning in and out. So there's always a resource. Sometimes you just got to do a little digging. So on that note, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be doing another roundtable here in July. We'll be posting that date fairly soon. And happy plastic free July, folks. Good luck on your challenge. I know I'm going to need it with the plastic bags because that was a bad habit I picked up, but happens. That's life. We need to give ourselves grace and just know better and do better. So take care, everyone. Have a happy 4th of July too. Bye.